not mixed with such things. So this woman from was suffering. This woman from suffering was suffering definitely because I hear say and see. This is what I see, and even what you see is not real. Yeah, it's not real. The same thing that happened to Eve. Eve here, God said, "Hey, don't eat of this tree." Okay, that is what she has come to hear from the husband. And now, in the midst of this, here comes the devil also pointing to the tree, which was said, "Don't eat." And now, I heard, this is what I heard. And now, this is what you see. And what you see now is trying to convince you that what you heard was not right. Okay? So that is confusion. Okay? And now, she was in the middle of nowhere to make a choice which you do not know if it is right or wrong. People are left in this middle. Satan always leave people in the middle. Okay, if you look at the case of Eve and Satan and what Satan said to Eve, it looks like it was real. Okay, and if you want to go down, you will really say, what? But God knew that this tree was of good and evil, which Satan also said, and God knew that if they eat of this tree, their eyes will be open. Yeah, but this was true when they ate the tree, their eyes was open. So does it mean that God was hiding something from them? No, God was not hiding anything from Adam and Eve. God told them plainly, and God lives by his word. And the only way for Adam and Eve to have overcome this tree, which was this tree came from the heart of the wicked one, the heart of Satan. This tree came from him. Okay. And so for the only way you can overcome this wicked spirit, because there is another spirit that is fighting people. There's another spirit that have come in rebellion, that have rebelled against God. God is the gift of God is irrevocable. God cannot take everything he gave to him. All the material covering. God covered him with a lot of material covering. The beautiful stones, the carbuncle of his pipe. All these things were instruments. God covered him with a lot of things, and he was beauty, magnificent beauty in the physical. Okay, lightning. He was light until he corrupted himself by thinking that he could be God, he could be worshipped. He will be like the Most High. Now, being like the Most High is not that he was going to be like the Most High. He was going to look like the Most High that is humble, the Most High that is filled with love, the Most High that is filled with long suffering grace, the Most High that with all mercy, the Most High that is selfless. No, he was not going to be the Most High that way. That is the character. No, he wanted to be the Most High where people worship him. And now he has also imposed this on man. And man has accepted that self-introduced nature, which is sin. Self is I am self-introduced nature. In other words, satanic imparted nature. He is ready to accept it. And also now begin to see himself as a God that deserves to be worshipped. That's why worship has been tempered. It has been long tempered with. Satan started it. And now he has left this to man. And man wants to also take over it. And wants people to worship him. So, this what happened to Eve in that garden. It's the same thing going on now. This woman was left in total confusion. Is it right? Oh, then he began to look at the tree, the out appearance of the tree. You know, when you are carried out, you are carried away by the appearance of things on the physical surface, and you don't know the heart. That is why sometimes I get mad with all these women. Siam, Siam, painting. I'm so mad with it. And it's look at my face right now. I'm real, right? I'm real. You can know if I am a trash and or something. You just look at this face. You see, this is real face. All right. But you look at someone's face. You look at the nails. What is wrong with people? Like, are you trying to tell God there is something you never added to me? You would have added something. So are you trying to tell God that, oh God, you didn't do well? When you created me, I was not good. If you have put all these things for me, I would have looked better than that. You're trying to spoil the nature of God. You're trying to destroy the nature of God. And sometimes you people will tell me you are daughters of Zion. You're no, shut up. You belong to your mother Jezebel. The seducing spirit is what is controlling you. Don't tell me that when you attach all these things that you have. Sometimes I get mad with some men who will say beauty. Oh, this is beautiful. This is a man that have been seduced by an harlot and been seduced by a sexually immoral person. This is what you call beauty. I don't call that beauty. I call that madness. Someone is mad out of his sense. So please, this aspect of worship carries a lot of things. I am telling you, it carries a lot of things. Now, look at a sense where Jesus spoke to people in Matthew 15, where he tells these people that they worship God in their lips, but their heart is far away. Their heart is far. That means the worship of the lips and the heart is not there, is incomplete. That is an incomplete worship, and that is what is going on right now in the world. Someone says, hey, God looks at the heart. God looks at the heart. Forget about my appearance. God, let me ask you something. A tree is known by the fruit that it produces. If the fruit that you have brought out from inside you on the outside surface is disgusting, so is your heart. Disgusting, filthy. And you might agree with me or disagree with me. I know already that people don't even love the truth, they love lies. And so I tell you what I have to tell you. Not that I'm telling you because I need your comments or I need you to applaud me. You applaud people that praise you. You applaud people that fill your head with trash. This way you applaud. And that is how who you dance to their tune. I know that you don't love the truth because you don't love Christ. Christ is truth. And he says that the world hate him because he testifies that their works are evil. So I am not testifying of Christ to you so that you applaud me. But I'm testifying to you maybe at a certain point you can just decide and say, let the will of God be done in me. All right. So let's go back to where we were about this worship of a thing. Eve gave her worship to Satan by receiving what is said, by believing in Satan and disbelieving God. And definitely when she did that, their eyes were open. God, the only way they could avoid this was that word. And that is why the only way you can ever, ever win Satan in this world is by the blood of Jesus, which he paid the price for the sins that we committed and wash us. And by the word of our testimony. What is our testimony? Our testimony is not riches, it's not materialism. Someone said, oh, I had an accident, fatal accident, I was healed by Jesus Christ. Good, that is a sign. Is it real? There is a testimony that we have that is higher than just our flesh, because God, oh, I needed 5,000, God gave me 50,000. No, God didn't give you 50,000. God made a way for you to get the 50,000. Maybe he told someone somewhere, go give to him, he's in need. So actually he uses someone to come to you and bless you and give you something. Not that his life is all about material things. Yes, of course he gives us everything that we want, but it is not, that is not his sight. That is not the sight that he wants you to be blessed with. Because with all these material things, you cannot worship God. You cannot worship God with materialism. Okay, I'm saying that this generation is in love with material things. Their heart is filled with material things. All they care about it is materialism. Money is materialism. That is why Jesus said to the Pharisees, you cannot worship God and worship mammon. Mammon is wealth, and wealth is Satan. God has wealth, right? But the riches of God make it, he says, the blessings of God make it rich and added no sorrow, right? And what is these blessings of God? Blessed are the poor, for theirs is the kingdom of God, right? Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called sons of God. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are you when people say all kinds of things for my name's sake. You lose not your reward. He said, rejoice, for your reward is great. You see the blessings of God, which added no sorrow. You see the blessings where God said, be merciful. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. You see the blessings of God that added no sorrow. You really think that the blessing of God is all about materialism? No. Give to God what belongs to God, to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. That is when they brought him money and showed him. And he showed, what is this? What is the image of this money? The image of man. He said, give it to man. Then give God what belongs to God. All right, there's a lot of things, a lot of mystery about the worship of God. That is why if you are not born of the Spirit, The things of the spirit can never be clear to you. Ask questions. It cannot, because a carnal mind does not know the things of the spirit. The things of the spirit are spiritually discerned. They are compared between spiritual and spiritual. That is why Satan can easily deceive someone. Why? Because you are unspiritual. How would you know? Satan thrown on earth is not the physical Satan, is not aura. Is not in some kind of animal with on like thing on like this and tail and all the stuff like this. The physical Satan is lightning. He appears as an angel of light. So are his ministers. His ministers are scattered everywhere. That is why I don't think that the church of Satan is very far from you. You think that Satan will rise up one day and write there boldly, the church of Satan. What you see in America is a form of deception. So they say the church of Satan is in America. The church of Satan is more than a hundreds in Nigeria. Church of Satan, more than 100, and it's more than a millions in the world. So a lot of people are even worshiping there. You don't know. How would you know? When Satan appears as an angel of light and his ministers also appear as light, as the sons of light, how would you know? How would this woman have known this until Christ came to her and let her know that God is spirit, and those who worship him must worship in spirit and in truth. But how? How do I worship God in spirit and in truth? Look, the only way to worship God is Christ. He is the door. He is the gate to God. He said, no man comes to me except the Father draws. Now, when the Father draws someone to him, he draws someone to come meet him, because you have to pass through him and meet God. He is the one that carries God. He said, I and my Father are one. I am in the Father is in me. The Father is in him. And you have to meet him. That means to say that you have to believe in. Believe, in other words, is obedience. Obedience. No one ever told you that, right? A man that was blind and Jesus Christ opened his eyes. When he opened his eyes to see, this man, if you go to John 9, you see that for those of you who love to read the Bible and study the Bible of God, this is your opportunity for a lot of things to be revealed to you. Go to John 9 and see this man. After his eyes was opened, this man began to battle with religion, with what they seem to call church, which was not church, religion. And they threw him out because it looks like something. His eyes is open now, and these teachers are telling him, asking him questions, said, are you the one to teach us now? You were blind. Are you now teaching us now? They threw him out of that synagogue, that temple. And when they threw him out, that is when he met Jesus. And when he met Jesus, Jesus asked him a question, because this man now, his eyes have been opened and he wants to see the Lord. Like, he's able to see the Lord. And Jesus said to him, do you believe in the Son of Man? Really? Do you believe in the Son of Man? And he said, who is this Son of Man that I should believe? That is in John 9, verse 35. All right, from 33, you see where the man is battling with religion. The man is battling with false church, false doctrine, false teachings, false tradition. He's battling, except you come to this point of this man, except Jesus open your eyes for you to turn around and see that many of these things that you call churches are nothing but falsehood. They belong to Satan. And except you come to a real point where you believe in Jesus. Believe, when I mean believe, I'm not talking about mouth, not mouths, please. This thing is personal. Okay, it's personal. I cannot tell you how many times I have accepted altar call. Come, if you want to accept Jesus Christ as your Lord, come, altar call. And I've been going there because I was willing. I was willing to let go sin. But to no avail. You go there, the next time you will still have to accept altar call again, because you're still the same sinner. I was struggling. I needed Jesus, but I couldn't find him in the altar. Jesus was not, none of the disciples found Jesus in the temple. He went out and called them from their places, their business place, their this. Forsake those things, come to me. He threw them out. And these people, if you see, and there could be people who could challenge the temple priest because they have met God. So when they threw this man out, okay, look at what they were battling with this man. So in 32, you could see now, okay, in 29, it says, we know that God spoke to Moses. That is the religious people. We know that God spoke to Moses. Like some of you will say to me now that you know that God has spoken to many of your pastors. Did God really spoke to this young man? When did God call me? I don't have a church. I don't have anything. I've not gone to school like you. Many of those people, they have their certificate, diplomas, and whatever. They are. You want to call their name, you have to mention their titles that they have gotten for themselves, what they have been able to achieve on earth. And me, what do I have? Nothing. I'm just a poor kind of boy who roams in the street preaching and does not even have a place of my own. Nothing. Okay. So the only thing I have is my bag with a Bible inside. Okay, like just a wanderer. So you will see me now sitting here to tell you, will you really even accept? Will you even want to believe? You see, this place is not like a place that someone stands out there in a crowd with thousands of people and with a microphone, with a decorated place and speaking. You say, yeah, Papa, yeah, man of God. There's a man of God. That's power. Why would a common person just come and tell you this? A poor kind of person come and tell you this. This is what they said to this young man. This is what people that have gotten a lot of this brain, okay? They said, we know that God spoke to Moses. As for this fellow, that is Jesus Christ they talk about. As for this fellow, we do not know where he is from. I went to preach to someone says, where do you worship? I said, I don't have any place because I know what he needs is for me to say, hey, I worship here in this so denomination. And he said, okay, I know your pastor. Yeah. But he said this, I said, I don't have a place, okay? I don't have a real place like saying this is where this guy worship, but I do go to all these places. I visit them because I know who I worship and I know where I worship. Because you want me to tell you that I worship in one of this temple? No. It's like so this is what they said. He said we don't know where he is from, but we know Moses. God spoke to Moses. All right. The man answered and said to them, why, this is a marvelous thing that you do not know where he is from. Yet he has opened my eyes. Now we know that God does not hear sinners. This is where this man became a preacher. But if anyone is a worshipper of God and does his will, oh, this man is blessed. He hears him. He hears him. That is why many of you are running prophets, pastors, this, that. Because you are not a worshiper of God. If you are a worshiper of God, you communicate with God. God hears you. He responds to you. He speaks to you. Many of you people, there is nothing, no communication with the Spirit. Nothing. You are just empty. Every Sunday, you dress another time of worship. Who told you that we are Sunday worshippers? I'll tell you that we are weekdays worshippers. Who told you that we even observe days and weeks and their customs and traditions? You see where they have leveled you to be? So look at the preaching of this man. Now we know this is a man telling these people the higher in grades, in studies, grammars, big jargon grammars, as if Jesus came to preach grammar. As if Jesus, the Spirit knew all languages. But when Jesus came, what language did he use to preach? Do you think he wouldn't have been able to speak China or Chinese or Jamaican or Germany or Spanish or any kind of Haiti or what kind of language you're in? Is that what brought him here? That you are using the word of God, this and that. Everybody now want to interpret Greek and Hebrew. Were you from there? How do you know that what you are even browsing in your phone or what you are browsing, studying in your book is real? I'm just people are just, I don't know what to say, but what I can tell you is if you love the truth, that's for you. And you'll be free from all this bondage. Your eyes will be open. This man loved the truth. That is why he told him, now we know that God does not hear sinners. But if anyone is a worshiper of God and does his will, he hears him.